All right. Hello, everyone. We are live. Let me make sure I can see myself on YouTube here. All right. Thank you to, let me say that again. Thank you to those of you who clicked on this link earlier and who liked the stream earlier. I apologize for not going on earlier, but I am coming to you all live from Western New York. And, well, I was visiting with family. And then after watching the game, I just had to push it back. And so here we are. So we're on late like we were last weekend when I was in Boulder, Colorado. All right. So thank you again to those of you who left comments. And thank you to those of you who left likes. If you're just coming in, no matter how long you're going to be in here, please smash that like button. The likes are free, and the likes help out with the engagement. If you want to donate something during the stream, the super chat is live, and you can also donate via my Cash App and PayPal, which are in the description box below. Looks like Michael Burden came through earlier. Looks like T. Riddler came through earlier. It looks like Buckeye Alex is in the house. Let me open this up. Let's see. Michigan, Indiana reaction. Okay, I'm going to play the intro, and then I'm going to start. It's late. And yeah, let me see if I can get in here and get out. Let me see who's here in the chat. Let's see. We've got Buckeye Alex, and we've got lots of Buckeye Alex. Alex, since you're here, let me give you a little bit of toughness.
This is a tough team right here. We're proud to be from Ohio, and it's always been Ohio against the world, and it'll continue to be Ohio against the world. But I'll tell you what, I love those kids, and we got a tough team.
Looks like, let's see, Trepicals is here. He says, the number 2 team versus the number 96 team in the nation is what we watched. Okay, so you're talking about Indiana. Alex, I'm going to give you another dose of toughness here.
This is a tough team right here. We're proud to be from Ohio, and it's always been Ohio against the world, and it'll continue to be Ohio against the world. But I'll tell you what, I love those kids, and we got a tough team.
All right. That one never gets old. All right, let me play the intro, and then I'll jump in. So Buckeye Alex is in, and he's talking trash, and he says this game was much to do about nothing. You know what, Alex? Just for that, you got yourself a little bit of Lou Holtz here.
We have the best offensive line in the country. Sam Hartman won't even get his dirty all year. He has time to throw the football. The offensive line, we have great running back. Esteem is averaging about 10 yards a carry. We have great receivers. So offensively, we're set.
All right, Alex, and just for that smack talk, you're going to get one more dose of Lou Holtz.
Defensively, our defensive line's better. And you look at Coach Day, and I coached at Ohio State under Woody Hayes. We won the national championship when I was there.
That's right.
So I'm proud of that. However,
let me not get distracted. Okay, so Michigan, the Michigan Wolverines, despite what Alex says about this game was much to do about nothing, I'm assuming Alex is talking about our game. Actually, it wasn't much to do about nothing because Michigan is working towards a third straight Big Ten title, and so it is incumbent upon the team to knock off these lower opponents and get to November where the real challenges are, and to get there healthy and undefeated. So today in Ann Arbor, the Michigan Wolverines defeated the Indiana Hoosiers. The Michigan Wolverines defeated the Indiana Hoosiers 52-7. Now, for those watching the game, those who watched the game, you know that the game started off a little more closely than a little closer than the final score indicated. So I got the Buffalo Wild Wings on Niagara Falls Boulevard. Shout out to Raheem Gaines. We watched the game together at Buffalo Wild Wings on Niagara Falls Boulevard in Tonawanda, New York, here in Western New York. Just like in the Midwest, in Ann Arbor, also out in Indiana where the Ohio State-Purdue game was. It was cold and wet and gusty here, so I can only imagine what it was like to actually play the game in those conditions. But as you can see, the Wolverines did a good job. But when I got to Buffalo Wild Wings, the Wolverines were down 7-0. They were down 7-0. And they were, let's see, so at 5 minutes and 21 seconds in that first quarter, Michigan was at -5 yards on offense. So when I got there, Indiana was on the board, and the Wolverines weren't having any success on offense, and they were at -5 yards. So early on in that first quarter, as a Michigan fan, you're looking on and you're thinking, okay, well, we were picked to win this game by 3 touchdowns, but it looks like Indiana has come to punch us in the face. So at 6 minutes and 35 seconds, there was I believe, a Rod Moore pick. I got my notes here. I'm going to read these off. Please smash that like button if you're coming in. Please let me know what you think there in the chat. So at 6 minutes and 35 seconds, there was a Rod Moore interception of the Indiana quarterback. It was Jeff Sorgi, and I think Jeff Sorgi, he transferred from Wisconsin. Looking at Indiana's last opponent, I thought the Jackson kid was going to start, but Jeff Sorgi started instead. Let's see, at 4 minutes and 32 seconds, Jeff Sorgi, I think they ran a read option run fake there. And then at 2 minutes and 17 seconds, Indiana ran a gadget play. Sorgi threw the ball to, I think, another wide receiver or running back, and he hit a receiver coming across the field. He caught the ball, and then he was able to turn it up and put Indiana on the board to go up 7-0. So Indiana went up 7-0 at 2 minutes and 17 seconds left in that first quarter. I remember on that play looking at the Indiana offense, and I think there was no one, however that formation was set up, there was no one on that top receiver, and I think that was the receiver that came and ran around and caught the touchdown pass. Let's see. So in the second quarter, at 11 minutes and 19 seconds, Blake Corum scored Michigan's first touchdown from within the 10-yard line. That tied the score 7-7. At 9 minutes remaining in that second quarter, there was a big Michigan stop. Kenneth Grant, someone tipped the ball, and Kenneth Grant almost got the interception, but that got Indiana off the field. At 3 minutes and 24 seconds, JJ threw a touchdown pass to Roman Wilson on 4th down. So the Wolverines drove down into the red zone, and they got turned away 3 times, but they went for it. And JJ hit Roman Wilson for a touchdown at 3 minutes and 24 seconds. Let's see, at 1 minute and 31 seconds, there was a personal foul on Indiana's number 92. He sacked JJ, and then he kind of, on the ground, he kind of wrestled JJ around, and that drew a personal foul. So Indiana started to self-destruct a little bit. At 41 seconds left in the second quarter, JJ scrambled out to the left. Then he threw a pitch to Donovan Edwards, and Donovan Edwards turned it up and ran the ball close to the goal line. And then with 11 seconds left, Blake Corum scored a second time, putting Michigan up 21-7. Okay, in the third quarter, Michigan embarked on a drive, and then at 12 minutes and 22 seconds, JJ rolled out to the right, and then he hit Colston Loveland on a touchdown pass. Colston caught it, and he ran it into the end zone. At that point, they put the boa constrictor cartoon and the boa constrictor graphic up on the screen, and that's the nickname that the Wolverines have gotten from, I think it was Joel Klatt. And so the significance of that name is that Michigan wraps itself around its opponents and then gradually squeezes and squeezes and squeezes and squeezes those opponents into submission. So they threw that up in the third quarter. There was a big Jalen Harrell sack in that third quarter near the Indiana goal line. Let's see, at 10 minutes, there was a big JJ run. Let's see, at 8 minutes and 28 seconds left in the third quarter, Samaj Morgan scored a touchdown on a wide receiver screen. That put Michigan up 35-7. Let's see, at 7 minutes and 39 seconds, Michael Barrett sacked Jeff Sorgi for a fumble and a Michigan recovery. At 5 minutes and 18 seconds, James Turner kicked a field goal, putting Michigan up 38-7. I wrote down here game over at that point. And at 51 seconds left in the third quarter, Indiana fumbled the ball. Mason Graham recovered it. No, I think that's where I wrote game over. Let's see, at 32 seconds left in that third quarter, Jack Tuttle went in. So Coach Harbaugh pulled JJ off. And then at 12 minutes and 2 seconds in that fourth quarter, Donovan Edwards finally got on the board with a touchdown. That put Michigan up 45-7 over Indiana. At 11 minutes and 54 seconds, there was a Keon Sabb interception. And at 6 minutes and 3 seconds, Jack Tuttle threw a touchdown to Carmelo English. I couldn't read my own handwriting. He threw a touchdown pass to Carmelo English with 6 minutes and 3 seconds. Indiana almost got on the board. They almost got on the board within another touchdown at 19 seconds left in that fourth quarter. The Michigan defensive back number 13 had his head turned. The Indiana receiver caught the ball, but he stepped out of bounds. But he turned it up and ran it in. We thought they scored, but they called it back. So Michigan went on to win that game 52-7. I'm going to read some of your comments here. Let's see. Trevor Cole says the number 2 team versus the number 96 team in the nation is what we saw, is what we watched. Alex says, well, he's giving the prayer thing. I don't know what that means. Raheem Gaines, we watched the game together earlier. He says, good evening, all. Looks like all of us are winners this evening. Let's see. Alex says, I guess when you're playing a JV schedule, you sound like Abdul there, Alex. Purdue is a JV team as well. Raheem Gaines says turnovers in the red zone spell doom if you're trying to pull the upset. Also, personal fouls by your defensive players. Trevor Cole says Purdue was ranked number 68 in the nation going into the game versus Ohio State. Let's see. Alex says both easy games today. Our game didn't start off so easy. Steve Cherry says, what time is the parade? For being Indiana, y'all. Alex says, let's see, the team up north has had the easiest schedule this year. So I think you guys are saying that you guys are questioning the toughness of the team up north.
This is a tough team right here. We're proud to be from Ohio, and it's always been Ohio against the world, and it'll continue to be Ohio against the world. But I'll tell you what, I love those kids, and we got a tough team.
You guys talk smack, I'm going to talk smack back. And don't make me bring Lou Holtz back. You know what? Since you guys are talking smack, I'm going to bring Lou Holtz back for one more.
He has lost to Alabama, Georgia, Clemson, Michigan twice, and everybody that beats him does so because they're more physical than Ohio State. And I think Notre Dame will take that same approach.
Notre Dame lost that game, but the smack talk is timeless. All right, so you guys are making valid points. Please smash that like button. Oh, Abdul is here. Please smash that like button if you're just coming in. No matter how long you stay, please smash that like button. So the question, you guys raised some valid points. Shout out to C, the chef from here in Western New York. He texted me during the game. He said, hey, Doc, your Wolverines look really good, but you already know what I'm going to say. Can they win when it matters in the big dances? And I wrote back to him, hello, Top Chef. If you guys don't follow C on Twitter, he's a cook extraordinaire. I said, most of us are looking on with cautious optimism. Those answers will come in November. Go blue. So the Michigan fan base, we know that the schedule has been soft up to this point, and it's getting gradually, well, in some instances, it's getting tough. The Michigan State game should be another blowout next week because their program is in disarray with the whole Mel Tucker thing. But we know that our hardest stretch of games is coming next month. So Ohio State fans, stick it. I'm just joking. All right, Abdul Gaines is here. So you know what we have to give Abdul Gaines when he comes in.
All right, and I'm going to continue to live that way and try to do what's right. And, that's who Nick Saban is. All right, so regardless of what anybody says, that's who Nick Saban is.
I play those because Abdul is such a Nick Saban fan. All right, so let's go over some of the statistics for today's game. Okay, so I don't know why the ESPN site is showing the Jackson kid at quarterback for Indiana because Sorgi played. I'm assuming this is for the Sorgi kid. So the Indiana quarterback went 7 for 13 for 52 yards and 2 interceptions. JJ McCarthy went 14 for 17 for 222 yards and 3 touchdowns. On the ground, Michigan was led by, who was this kid? B. Hall. Benjamin Hall. Okay, according to this, Benjamin Hall led all Michigan rushers. I'm not sure if this is accurate. According to this, Benjamin Hall carried the ball 9 times for 58 yards for Michigan. And Michigan's leading receiver was Colston Loveland with 3 receptions for 80 yards and 1 touchdown. So Alex is such a fan of JJ McCarthy. I have to play this Lance Bedford drop about JJ.
throwing the ball on the run is pretty accurate. So most defensive coaches, they like a guy who's like the Statue of Liberty, that he can't scramble. So when I pressure him, I don't have to worry about him running. JJ has the escapability that makes you nervous when you pressure him.
Okay, please smash that like button if you haven't. The likes are free and they help out with the engagement. All right, so yeah, JJ went 14 for 17 for 222 yards and 3 touchdowns. Jack Tuttle went 5 for 5 for 22 yards and 1 touchdown. In terms of rushing, I don't know why they listed the Benjamin Hall kid as maybe because he had the most total rushing yards. Okay, so he carried the ball 9 times for 58 yards. Blake Corum carried the ball 13 times for 52 yards and 2 touchdowns. JJ carried the ball 10 times for 27 yards. JJ had some big runs. Donovan Edwards carried the ball 9 times for 20 yards and 1 touchdown. And Danny Hughes carried the ball once for 6 yards. In terms of receiving, Colston Loveland caught 3 balls for 80 yards and 1 touchdown. Tyler Morris caught 4 balls for 54 yards. Donovan Edwards caught 2 balls for 33 yards. AJ Barner caught 1 for 18 yards. Cornelius caught 1 for 15 yards. Blake Corum caught 1 ball for 15 yards. And Roman Wilson caught 3 balls for 14 yards and 1 touchdown. Samaj Morgan caught 1 ball for 7 yards and 1 touchdown. Carmelo English caught 1 ball for 4 yards and 1 touchdown. Frederick Moore caught 1 ball for 4 yards. And Benjamin Hall caught 1 ball. JJ fumbled twice, and Michigan recovered both of those. Can't do that against Penn State or Ohio State. Let's see, in terms of sacks, Rashawn Benny got 1 sack. Michael Barrett got 1 sack. Jalen Harrell got 2 sacks. Let's see. And so there were 4 total sacks for our defense. Rod Moore intercepted 1 ball early, and then Keon Sabb intercepted another ball late in the game. Let's see. There was a big punt return from Samaj Morgan. A big kick return, and there was a big punt return from Tyler Morris. And James Turner was perfect in terms of field goals. I'm going to go to the team statistics next. Please smash that like button, everyone. Please, again, let me know what you think there in the chat. In terms of team statistics, if you're new, please consider subscribing to the channel. Shout out to Bo Lytle. Respect is earned. Okay, so Michigan gained 23 first downs. Michigan was 6 for 11 on 3rd down. Michigan was 2 for 2 on 4th down. And Michigan generated 407 total yards to Indiana's 232. Yeah, Indiana came out with a lot of fight, but eventually they got worn down. I was a little nervous in the beginning. You just never know when a lesser opponent is going to step up and upset your team, but Michigan just had too much and wore them down. Michigan generated 244 passing yards to Indiana's 140, and then Michigan generated 163 rushing yards to Indiana's 92. Michigan had 2 penalties for 20 yards. Indiana had 5 penalties for 47 yards. The big one being on the defensive end and committing that personal foul against J.J. McCarthy. Michigan held the ball for 32 minutes and 47 seconds. Indiana held the ball for 27 minutes and 13 seconds. So Michigan won the time of possession in this game. And yeah, there we are. So I'm going to read some of your comments before I go over the scores from the rest of the NCAA today. Unfortunately, Colorado lost last night. Abdul, please smash that like button if you haven't. If you're new, please consider subscribing. Shout out to Bo Lytle. Respect is earned. Let's see. So here's the smack talk about JV schedules. Buckeye Alex says both easy games today. Steve Cherry says, what time is the parade for beating Indiana? You guys are going to make me bring back Lou Holtz, so keep at it. Alexander Dilwar says, the team up north has the easiest schedule this year. Alex, we're aware of that. That could come back to bite us later on. But as long as our coaching staff keeps the team focused, we should be okay by the end. Raheem Gaines says, tell him, Ryan. You want some more, Raheem? Here we go.
This is a tough team right here. We're proud to be from Ohio, and it's always been Ohio against the world, and it'll continue to be Ohio against the world. But I'll tell you what, I love those kids, and we got a tough team.
Raheem Gaines, Abdul Gaines says, the Wolverines are the best team in the Harvard Cup. I mean, Section 6. Next week, they'll play Bennett at Johnny B. Wiley. So everyone, these are Western New York references. The Harvard Cup is our city football league, Section 6. Those are all the schools, all the high schools in Western New York. There's actually a Johnny B. Wiley Stadium here. So Abdul is saying that we're playing a high school schedule. Steve Cherry. Okay, some emojis there. Buckeye Alex says, not questioning the toughness, just the strength of schedule. Welcome to the SEC 10. Okay. Raheem Gaines says, go to sleep, old man. That's to Lou Holtz. Steve Cherry says, Notre Dame spanking USC 48-20. Treppa says, is the Notre Dame win on Ohio State schedule a good win now since Notre Dame took down a top 10 team? Alex says, Treppa is the best win in the conference currently. All right. Still a long way to go. Alex says, interesting fact, OSU has lost more to Purdue than the team up north in the last 15 years. Raheem Gaines says, that's my coach. It's always been Ohio against the world. So you guys have a big game next week. So in the Big Ten East, it's a 3-team race so far. Penn State, Michigan, Ohio State. And one of those 3 teams is going to lose next week. So you guys or Penn State are going to have a loss next week. Which one will it be? Which one will it be? All right, let's take a look at the other scores, and then I'll wrap this stream up. Actually, no. These are the rankings. Let me stop. Alex, did you mean this? Alex says, we are taking an L next week. Okay, I think Alex is trying to lower expectations. I don't think he means this. I don't think he means you guys are going to lose against Penn State, especially since the game is in the horseshoe. Let's see. I don't really have. I know the great Johnny Olden typically has criticisms for the team. I trust Johnny's judgment. I don't really. My one criticism is I don't think they should keep running Donovan with what we have. I think they should. I think he's not being very effective from the backfield, and I think Donovan this year is most effective in the slot and catching the ball out of the backfield. But they keep handing the ball off to him. He got on the board today, but he's not breaking off the big runs like he did against Ohio State last year and against Purdue in the Big Ten championship game. So if I'm the coaching staff, I mean, you can keep handing the ball off to him, but I would throw the ball to him from the slot and from the backfield. All right, the scores. Alex says, yes, I do. So Alex is picking Ohio State to lose next week. Trevor Cole says Penn State beats Ohio State, Michigan beats Penn State, Ohio State beats Michigan. Okay, so you guys are, Trevor, you're predicting a bit of a chaotic thing. Interesting. Okay. Well, we'll see. But somebody's getting a loss next week. All right. So the rest of the scores for today. Well, let's start with last night. Why isn't the Colorado game listed here? Colorado is never listed in these Google scores. Okay. Well, if Abdul Gaines is still out there, Colorado, Coach Prime lost late last night. I went to bed. Colorado was rolling against Stanford. Colorado was up. So I went to bed and I woke up in the middle of the night to a text message saying that Coach Prime and his beloved Buffaloes gave up a 29-point lead and lost in overtime to Stanford at home in beautiful Boulder. All right, so Florida State defeated Syracuse 41-3. Alabama defeated Arkansas 21-4. Georgia defeated Vanderbilt 37-20. It looks like Brock Bowers went out with an injury, but I think he'll probably play next week. Ohio State defeated Purdue 41-7. Michigan defeated Indiana 52-7. Utah defeated Cal Berkeley 34-14. Washington defeated Oregon 36-33. Penn State, they played a JV game today as well, fellas. Penn State defeated UMass 63-zip. Oklahoma State defeated Kansas 39-32. Tennessee defeated Texas A&M 20-13. Pittsburgh defeated Louisville 38-21. LSU defeated Auburn 48-18. Arizona defeated Washington State 44-6. Missouri defeated Kentucky 38-21. Notre Dame defeated USC 48-20. Right now, the North Carolina Tar Heels are up on Miami 38-17. So a second straight loss for Mario Cristobal and the Hurricanes. UCLA is up on Oregon State UCLA is down to Oregon State 36-24. And Duke is beating North Carolina State 24-3. I don't know why they never list Colorado on Google here. In any case, yeah, Abdul Gaines was heartbroken last night and this morning because of what happened to Colorado. But I think Abdul Gaines still believes.
What's up, boss? You believe that? Hold on. Oh no. Do you believe that?
All right, I'm going to read some more of your comments here. Okay, Alex is calling his shot here. He says, lose to Penn State, win the game. So Alex is predicting that Ohio State will lose to Penn State next week in the horseshoe, and then Ohio State is going to rebound to defeat the Wolverines at hashtag Thanksgiving 2023. Andy K says, I agree. Play Edwards at wide receiver more. Yeah, he's not being very effective in the backfield up to this point. So Blake is producing. I don't think we saw Khalil Mullings today. I didn't see Khalil Mullings today, but Blake is producing from the backfield. So I would just throw to Donovan at this point. Raheem Gaines says, it's the weirdest 6-0 start I can recall as a Buckeye fan. Alex says Stanford and Reggie in the building. Choke. Stanford had Reggie in the building. Choke. Abdul Gaines says, when is A&M going to get around to firing Jimbo Fisher? Raheem Gaines says, Colorado was unranked. That would be why you're not seeing them on the screen. Raheem, that's a good point. That's an excellent point. Colorado is unranked. You hear that, Abdul? You're unranked. He says the U is unraveling. He says Abdul is still crying about Colorado. T. Riddler has shown up. He says, yo. Hey, T. Riddler, I'm not going to say that online right now. I'll just say, go Bills. Beat the Giants tomorrow night. Andy K says, I don't see Penn State winning in Columbus. However, I could see OSU, Michigan, and Penn State all going 8-1 in the Big Ten. That would be inconvenient. Then who would go to the championship game? Then you'd have to see who beat whom, and who wins the tiebreaker. I'm hoping Michigan wins out. That's the best case scenario. Alex says the U was never raveled to be unraveled. Andy K says Mullings is hurt. Thank you. I got to the game late. I got to the game watch late today. Thank you for that, Andy Case. T. Riddler says, on a quick side note, how are you feeling about the Bills tomorrow? Well, we're talking Michigan football right now, but T. Riddler, they're going to be at home. The Giants are starting Tyrod Taylor at quarterback. So the Bills should be fine. They have to make up for what happened in the UK tomorrow night. And then Abdul Gaines says, I'm still riding with Dion. Okay. So everyone, that's pretty much all I've got. Do you have any more comments on today's game? It was pretty much a repeat of last week's game, except it was in the big house. Michigan was predicted to win by 21 points, and they won by 45. So, but as many of you have stated in the chat, it was a JV game. So, we won't really know what we have until the Wolverines go out to Happy Valley in November. And then we're really going to see how good Penn State is next week when they go down to the Horseshoe. And that's a noon kickoff next week. So we have Michigan State, which their program is all over the place due to the Mel Tucker meltdown. And then next week, Penn State goes to Ohio State. So a lot of football. There's a lot of football left to be played. All right, so I will probably do a pregame show Monday night from here. Okay, T. Riddler, I am going to the Bills game tomorrow. I am going to Orchard Park tomorrow into Highmark Stadium. I wanted to go one time before they tear it down. And even growing up here in Buffalo, I've never been in Highmark Stadium, which was formerly Rich Stadium. So I'm going to the game tomorrow. All right. So I suspect the prediction for the Michigan State game will probably be Michigan winning by 20 points or 30 points. I don't think Michigan State is going to put up much of a fight against the Wolverines today. But hey, guys, despite the fact that you guys are clowning out there and calling it Michigan playing a JV team, Indiana fought hard for the first quarter, and it wasn't looking good for us in that first quarter. And they were getting back there, and they were getting pressure on JJ. And at least at the beginning, until the offense settled in, they were at negative yardage. So that was looking scary in that first half, in that first quarter. So the Wolverines are not invincible. That's what I'm trying to say. And we have to see how they're going to do against a stronger opponent who can keep the heat on for longer than one quarter. Andy Case, I think are you laughing because I said that? It did look in that first quarter, for me, it did look a little scary, especially with them getting in the backfield and sacking JJ and the team being at negative yardage. Yeah, for me, I was kind of like, okay, this is not starting off well. But not stealing Johnny's line. Johnny authored the line. But after that first quarter, Indiana got nothing. So shout out to Johnny Olden. Oh, he said I was laughing at Alex's comment. Oh, about Tyrod Taylor. Tyrod Taylor is another one of Abdul Gaines' favorite all-time NFL quarterbacks, Tyrod Taylor. And I think Tyrod Taylor is Michael Vick's cousin. Okay. All right, everyone. It is 11 o'clock here on the East Coast. Let me wind this down. Everyone, this is Big Discussions 76 Sports. I forgot to show this at the beginning of the stream. My name is Dr. Anwar Youssef Dunbar. I am a Michigan alum and a Michigan football fan and a blogger, and I'm writing a sports-related book. Most of you know that already. Shout out to Bo Lytle. Respect is earned. If you are new to the channel and if you see fit, please like this video and please consider subscribing to the channel. If you want to donate something and you're watching on the playback, my Cash App and PayPal are below in the description box. You can also leave a super thanks. And please consider joining the Big Words LLC Newsletter. I'm also a writer and a blogger and a soon-to-be author. And with that, I'm going to wrap this stream up. You know, we played Ryan Day. I played Ryan Day. I played Lou Holtz. I played Dion. I need to play my coach. Let me. Well, since Abdul is here, let me play something from one of Abdul's favorite coaches, one of his other favorite coaches as well.
You top of your helmet, right? Every moment. The Cinderella story is over, man. Right? They're fighting for clicks. We're fighting for wins. There's a difference, right? There's a difference.
I think Dan Mulling is also part of the Nick Saban tree. I watched Dan Lanning. I think Dan Lanning is also part of the Nick Saban tree, which is why Abdul loves him so much. And I watched a Dan Lanning video earlier this week. So let's see. I need to play a drop of my coach. Let's see. Nope, nothing in there. Nope, nothing in there. Here we are. This is part This is part of what has Ryan Day unhinged right now. This simple comment by Coach Harbaugh.
Sometimes people that are standing on third base think they hit a triple, but they didn't. Thanks.
In addition to Lou Holtz's smack talking. All right, everyone. That was a drop from Coach Harbaugh, a word from Coach Harbaugh. So, all right, I'm going to wrap this up. All right, everyone. Well, hey, go blue. As always, remember that your attitude determines your altitude. Always try to do your best. Take care, and I will talk to you the next time. It's great to be a Michigan Wolverine, and who's got it better than us? So everyone, enjoy the rest of your Saturday night, and I will talk to you again soon. Bye-bye.